Okay, I know that it's 5 o'clock, but I think, good afternoon, everyone. But I think looking at the numbers, we're just about 6 participants. Perhaps we would like to give it some 2-3 minutes. At just 5 minutes after 5 o'clock, I think we should start and wait for others to join us. How about that?
Yeah, that's okay.
Great. Okay, so while we are still waiting for the next 3 minutes, just so that everyone knows what it is that we're waiting for, we are giving some 2 more minutes for us to have a sizable number of participants so that we can get started. I see the number, it's growing. We have about 12 people who have joined us. All right. A very good evening to all of us. On behalf of the Social Welfare Committee of Victoria Garden City, I'd like to welcome all of us to today's event. The topic that we have to share today is a training program for caregivers on the proper care of our seniors. And this is one in the many, very many series of topics we will bring out on behalf of our seniors who live in the estate and for all of us. And it is one of the things that we have designed to show our gratitude, our respect in honor of those who have really aspired to inspire us to be where we are today. And so as a community, as a society, we want to make it a point of duty to ensure that we reinvigorate a life or the lives of those of our seniors who have really worked so hard to make this place a success for us to live in. And so without wasting so much of time, I would like for us to get started. And I call on Mrs. Miracle Odili to usher in our presenters for today, the Good Hands Home Care Agency. Miracle, please, over to you.
Good evening, everyone.
Observation, please. Observation. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Chairman.
Yes,
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, please.
There is a complaint from some other people who are trying to log in that the sign-in is requiring authentication to join. I don't know if there's anything we can do from the back end to ease signing in, because I also tried to sign in from another device, but I was having issues. They said authentication required. So I don't know how that can be eased to make it easy for other people to join. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for that observation. I equally experienced the same thing when I was trying to sign in from my laptop. It told me that, so I just quickly went to my phone. I don't know if there's anybody here who is IT savvy from amongst us. GM, are you here with us? Okay. You're on mute in case you're trying to talk. So what?
Yeah, so I've heard what you said. I've seen it. I'm working on it. If it's something I can do, I'll do it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes,
all right. So while that is happening at the back end, I think we can get started as soon as it is resolved. Others will join us, because if we do not start at this point, those that we have will think that nothing is happening. It doesn't matter if we have to rewind a bit, to capture what have been said before the majority of the people come in. We have about 17 people on board now, 18 as a matter of fact. So Miracle, over to you, please.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good evening. Thank you, Mr. Ben, for this opportunity. I'm so excited to be part of this, and I think it's high time we begin to take our services top notch. I feel like I keep telling people that you can't give what you don't have. If you want the best from our caregivers, we must train them. Everything in life you have to train. You have to be prepared for it. So no matter where they're coming from, no matter the services they could render, the frequent training of our caregivers will also show that we can have our seniors stay alive longer for us. Being 60, 70, 80 does not mean a death sentence. You can live to be 100 and above, depending on your choice. But with the right care and the right hands around you, this is possible. And I'm so excited again because the Good Hands Home Care Agency is one of the best. And they are bringing this training for free. So I would like to encourage everyone participating to make sure that everyone, your caregivers, are connected to this meeting. And I know you're going to learn a lot. It's going to be enlightening. I'm so excited also because the person who is going to be engaging us, or the facilitator, is always compassionate about senior care advocacy, and welfare. It's someone with 5 years experience when it comes to personal and developmental support worker. So her name is Ozioma. She will be teaching us all that we need to know to have the best in our services. Please, Mrs. Ozioma, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, I can go ahead.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you, Madam Miracle. And I want to thank you for all the assistance and your level of professionalism all through putting this program together. Thank you so much. I also want to thank the chairman of this wonderful club and the honorable members of this club, management, and the team of management and the members of this club. Thank you so much for putting this together. Definitely, please let me know if you can hear me. Put a message in the chat box and just let me know, okay? Definitely, we're happy to be here. This is something, like you said, we're very passionate about. And we are very, very delighted that this club deemed it fit for us to come in and just train and share with you. We're just going to get started so we don't take too much time. We have short time. Usually these trainings go on for weeks. But what we've done today is that we've put it together, compressed it so that we can touch as much as possible. And most importantly, the vital part of seniors care. And so we're just going to get started. But like I said, feel free to stop me, ask any questions, ask questions on the chat box, and I would see it and answer the question. Also, if you have any contribution or you want to say something, please feel free to stop me as well, okay? The training models for today is preventing fall in seniors, understanding dementia, and infection in seniors. I'll tell a quick story, personal story. So as a young girl in Nigeria, I watched my parents grow old, and I was always a daddy's girl. And then I watched my dad, my dad, older than my mom, he got older first. And, your mind, you tell yourself, your parents are going to be old, but they're never, they're never going to die. You don't want them to die. You just say, okay, my dad is old. But then something really traumatic happened that changed my life forever and made me dug deep into seniors care. I like what the Mr. Chairman said from the beginning. These people have made this, have paid their dues. Seniors have paved the path for us. They have sowed the seed. They've raised kids. They've worked so hard. I like to call seniors generals. Okay, I have so much respect for seniors and so much passion about their care. So like I was saying with my story, I watched my dad get old and something happened. He started losing his memory and started repeating himself a lot. And at the time, I didn't know what it was as a young girl, even though I was in university at the time, I didn't know what it was. I didn't have no idea what dementia was, but I would get calls from my siblings, oh, daddy is repeating himself, oh, daddy is getting angry, daddy gets aggressive. Daddy uses weapon. When he gets aggressive, he breaks things. And that was very hard for me because my father was such a gentleman, never fought, never attacked anyone. And then I hear things like he attacks people. And so I kept saying to them, what is triggering this thing? What is happening? And then when he's sick, I would say to them, send him a nurse, send him care. You would send a nurse. My mom would say, it's not a nurse thing. This is a spiritual thing. We have to pray for him. We have to take him to church, and I knew it wasn't a spiritual thing, but I didn't know what it was. And so long story short, he went out one day and never came back. So we, launched a search for him. We couldn't find him for 3 days, and only to get a call that he's been hit by a car and he was found by the roadside. What am I trying to say with this? Apparently he had dementia. And so, but we didn't know. We send nurses, he will attack them, or sometimes my mom would send them home saying, no, she has to take him for prayers. They kept doing prayers. My mom would say, oh, the people from the village, he used to call his mother, he used to call his forefathers. Now, after the car accident, of course, he broke his leg. We tried to, help him, but something, the dementia, at the time, we didn't know it was dementia, hit fast, and he declined really fast. Because as we know, fall and accident is a big problem for seniors. When they fall or when they have such kind of movement accidents, it can hit them the impact is tough and they can deteriorate really fast. So in a matter of weeks, my dad deteriorated, shrunk, and we lost him. So that pushed me into digging deep. What could have triggered mentally? What made him forget things? What made him, they call it old people sickness. They say, oh, it's normal thing for old people. But as time went on, I found my friend's dad at 60 something, he started doing the same thing. And so she would call me and say, Ozzy, what did you do for your dad? Because my dad is beginning to forget things, he's beginning to lose his way. And so I thought to myself, I had to study this thing. I have to study what is this. And then when I dug deep and studied dementia, I also started sensitizing people around me. When you get to 50, 60, what are the signs of dementia? What should you be looking out for? What are the things that come with old age? These people, I then realized in Nigeria, we ignore the seniors' care, and the seniors' world is a different world entirely. It is another world, it's another journey. We like to say the seniors are, oh, they become like babies. We like to use those words. Yes, but it's not exactly true, because yes, they become as baby, but you're dealing with an adult that is now becoming like a baby, an adult with dignity, integrity, that has paid the price, that has done so much, that is watching themselves and their health fail. So how do we help them? I thought that we were not sensitive enough in Nigeria. We're not empowered. We're not equipped. Families are struggling with these things. You might want to say not everybody suffers from dementia, but everybody gets old. Okay, so yes, not everybody suffers from dementia, but everybody gets old. How do you prepare yourself? How do you strategically set up your family structure so it prepares for your seniors that are getting old, even if they're in the village? I notice also that one of the things we do as families is that our parents now are in the village, and we have cousins and family members around them, managing them with in their own way. And we begin to stay away from them because we watch them deteriorate. We watch them go through that state. We don't want to see them, the pain they go through. So we go to the villages every now and then, once in a while, and we take off, trying to run away from that pain and that experiences. But right now, it is coming to our doorsteps. We're getting older. We're experiencing our system tell us that something is happening. So there are solutions, there are answers, there are things that can prepare us, prepare our children, prepare our principal caregivers. Most times, the principal caregivers for every home is the children, the first child, second child, and then sometimes we have nannies or family members that we're used to that served us for so many years. And yes, they've gone on to get married and have the family, but they always come because of the attachment. What we do in this agency is, yes, we have nurses, we have professional personal support workers that we send to home. However, we train people, family members, to be aware and to look out for certain things. And so let's dive deep into it. And today we're going to be starting with preventing falls. Next slide, please. Okay. Falls are very sensitive and very dangerous. People just say, oh, she fell down. If you have a senior that falls down, that was one of the biggest red flags. Studies have it that if a senior falls down, they deteriorate by 80%. 80%. So you have a senior that's very cognitive, very strong, using the bathroom, going by themselves. The moment they fall, so many things can happen. Let's first of all just go through what fall means. Let me see if I can take this out of my screen. Okay, good. A fall in seniors is defined as an unintentional event in which an individual aged 65 or older descends to the ground or to a lower level, such as chair, bed, stairs, without intending to do so. So they bumped into something. In seniors, most times, 60% of the time, they just drop. They just drop. This can happen because their legs fail them, the muscle. Their mind is going, but the body didn't go, okay? And you would wonder why an able-bodied man or a strong woman would just drop. This happens in seniors. So they just fall. Fall in seniors can result in various degrees of physical harm and often have long-term consequences. Long-term consequences. So many things happen when seniors fall. They lose, the brain shifts, okay? They break their hip bone. The moment the brain shifts, they don't have any brain problem necessarily, but everything begins to change. A lot of times they begin to hallucinate. A lot of times someone that could engage you and have conversations with you begin to lose touch, okay? They begin to repeat themselves. They begin to, sometimes they go into their shell. They don't talk much anymore. So falls are dangerous. If fall for a senior, it's a no. If you can prevent your senior, your loved ones from falling, then you have done 90% of an amazing job, helping them through that journey. Believe me. It's, so significant consequences. Okay, long-term consequences, making them a significant health concern in this demographic. Preventing measures and interventions are essential to reduce incidence and impact of fall among older adults. Preventing measures, you can prevent falls. You can prevent falls. You look at, for example, next slide, please. You look at their rooms. Where are they staying? Don't wait for the fall. Where are they sleeping? You look at the bed height. You look at the bath. In Nigeria, we use a lot of tiles. There's a lot of marble and tile going on. Where your senior stays should be less tile, rug the area, make it grip, let it be grippable. Clear the space, no much cabinets and cupboard and stools and chairs. We can do that. Falls are a leading cause of injury and hospitalization among Nigerian seniors. It is. If you go to the hospitals, why are they there? They fell down. And sometimes you cannot tell what happened. They look fine, but they're not fine. Internal, the hip has either cracked or the backbone. Seniors' bones are not as strong as we know. It's common sense. But to be honest with you, during my time working in this industry, it amazes me the level, the tiny fall that cracks the bone. The tiny fall. A fall just from the bed breaks the hip bone from seniors or the hand. A fall just from the bathroom, the toilet seat and the slide, it cracks, it dislocates the hip. So falls can result in fractures, head injuries, and a loss of independence. The moment they fall, they begin to lose independence. So we cannot, if we have seniors, I'm sure we are here because we have seniors, we have people that we care about that getting to that age. You begin to clear their spaces, make it more user-friendly, make it more safety conscious, because we don't want to wait until the fall. Prevention is better. Fall-related injuries can be financially burdensome for families and healthcare system. You pay for surgery. It is a lot of money, okay? Preventing falls becomes crucial as it reduces the likelihood of seniors requiring medical attention or hospitalization, which may be challenging to access for many seniors and many adults. To take them for surgery, not everybody can afford it. So we don't have to get there. We don't have to allow our seniors get there. We can definitely avoid that. Safety measures in the room, like I've said, the bathroom, you change the floor mat. If it's slippery, you want to put something more, what's it called? That has a firm grip, a carpet, more like the cozy bathroom carpets. Yes, it gets dirty. That's another level. You wash them. You have multiple that you change. It is better if you have a senior that is already using a walker. You don't want chairs or tables around at all. You want to clear that space. You also want to make sure there are no cables in the rooms. Okay, and let's just say these seniors were not up to our 80s yet. We're in our 60s, 70s. The staircase must not be as slippery because one tiny loss of movement, you're down, and the bone doesn't recover as fast as. Like I said, this training is not to bring fear or anything like that. It's to equip us, empower us, educate us, and prepare us for the future. Some common risk factors causes of falls in seniors are stated below. These are factors to watch out for in your homes, okay? Advanced age, the risk of falling is increased with age. Muscle weaknesses, so the older you get, the strength reduces, your muscle strength reduces. You might think that you've still got it. No, biologically, your strength has reduced, okay? And the balance and lack of balance can lead to fall. Sometimes our medications as well, we are on some kind of medication, maybe for high blood pressure, maybe for poor sleep. We don't sleep well. We're probably in some level of melatonin or something that helps us calm down. Some people dealing with anxiety. So some medication may cause dizziness and unsteadiness. So we have to understand that, look out for that. Chronic health conditions like diabetes or arthritis can increase fall risk as well. Environmental factors, poor lighting. So in a room where you are, the light is not as bright. If we have seniors, please light up your room. Light up your room. We need more lighting. Loose rugs. Some rugs are very slippery. You want to look out for that. And clusters can be hazard. Like I said, wires, cabinets, chairs. We don't need, you want to clear your space. You want to clear your space as much as possible. If you can you take this up a bit? I can't see the bottom part. Or is it the next slide? The following are immediate steps to take when a senior falls, okay? So let's say you have a senior that has fallen. Immediate steps to take, ensure safety. Check for any immediate dangers, such as sharp objects or slippery floors. This would help you determine the cause of the fall, okay? So when a senior falls, the moment you get there, you want to just look around. What would have caused this fall, okay? What would have caused this fall? So if there's a sharp object, if there is wires, you want to quickly scan when a senior fall, what could have caused this, okay? Is the floor, does it have water? This will help determine the cause of the fall, okay? If there's water, assess the person, determine if the senior is conscious and breathing. You want to go close and call them. Grandma, grandpa, are you there? Are you okay? Can you hear me? You have to project. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You hold the left hands and go for the pause. As you go for the pause, you're asking them, you're going, grandma or daddy, mommy, whatever. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let them respond, okay? And you call for help, okay? Dial emergency service if we have them for seniors. I think is one thing I want to suggest for the community, if we can have an emergency number, because I don't think we have emergency numbers in Nigeria that we can just call. If as a family you have an emergency medical number, you must call that number. If you have a doctor that is a family doctor, you have to call immediately. You have to make that call out for help, okay? Find out if the person is responsive. Do not leave them alone. Do not leave them alone. Do not leave them alone, because that can cause harm to them, okay? We can lose them, actually, because it depends on how they fall. If you're trying to push them, you can shut down their airwaves, breathing access. You can also harm them more by trying to move them, because you don't know what has happened. So if they fell on their right hand, for example, you're trying to move them, and you didn't know, you can break their hand for that, okay? So do not move them alone. Stay with the person, offer reassurance, and keep them calm until help comes. One of the best thing to do, instead of trying to move them, call for help, call emergency number for family care, but keep them present. Let them know you are with them. Are you there, grandma? I'm here. This is Ozioma. This is Ozioma, grandma. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Stay with me. Stay with me, grandma. Reassure them, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. I can see you. You're fine. Even if you can see blood. because sometimes they see the blood, it can shock them, okay? Just reassure them, it's okay, grandma, it's okay, grandpa, you are fine, I'm with you, stay with me, and try to reassure them. Don't put fear in them, because you can give them an instant heart attack from there, okay? Just keep saying, you're fine, grandma. If it's in your language, you speak your language. Oh God, it's fine. Don't worry him. This is Igbo, I'm Igbo, right? You're fine. If it's your Yoruba, you keep going, okay? And make sure they're with you. Make sure they're present with you while you're calling out for help. But don't move them yourself, okay? Try to look at the environment. If they are on their tummy, you want to call for help, but get their head up, make sure they can see you and they can breathe, and you have eye contact, and they keep their eyes open and engage them, okay? If you're on their side, you don't want to move them, because on that hand, you want to keep them that way and reassure them. And even if you must move them, gradually move them to their back. The back is the best way to put seniors, so a senior that has fallen, so they can breathe, they can see you, you can see them, you can engage them, keep them calm, keep them with you. Having said that, let's continue. Here are some preventive measures to take to avoid falls for senior. Okay, yes, we've just gone to next slide, please. Like I said, please feel free to stop me and ask me any questions. Next slide.
We've not gone through this slide.
No, go back. I thought though we haven't gone through, yes, this one, the assistant, yeah, we haven't gone through this. So there are certain things that can help seniors, And to be honest, a lot of them don't like it when you introduce it to them. Some of them can still tell you, I don't need a walking cane. I don't need a walker. Please, yes, we are told not to force them, but please, if you love them, you have to introduce it to them. Find a way systematically, even if they start using it from their rooms, even if you put it just by the side of their bed or by the side of their chairs, just say to them, I know you don't like it, but you might need it, something for grip when you want to get up, okay? And please leave it there, okay? It is very important they have a walking canes, because it provides stability for seniors with balance issues. I know we know that. Orthopedic footwear, you begin to change their footwear. They can't wear the same shoes they've always worn, okay? They would fight this. They would say, leave me alone. I want to wear my shoe. I want to do this. We must find a way to get them comfortable shoes, okay? If they have a particular shoe that they like, you want to take that shoe, you want to find a way to craft it, put some orthopedic balance in them. You want to buy a shoe that looks like that shoe, and but it's orthopedically proven and certified, in the sense, if there's anything like that. Most times, sneakers are very good. For the stylish seniors, you want to get them comfortable running shoes that, their feet, they are on almost every day, because when they walk on bare feet, it's tough. We can say, don't worry, she's used to it. She run on her feet. This woman is old. This man is old, but very strong. The day it fails them, you will wish you did better, because the day it fails them, they may never get a second chance. We've watched people fall once and they go, and they were fine, and they fell, went in for surgery, came out fine, but never the same. And in 3 weeks, 2 months, they just shrink. They'll eat, but the fall impact on seniors is unbelievable. You would see somebody in their 70s, and just because they fell, they're never the same again, never. So please get them comfortable shoes, because it supports and brings about comfort, and helps with their foot problems, so that when they don't lose balance. Toilet seats, raised toilet seats, because of the hip and the back. The bathroom a senior uses should be higher, okay? If you don't want to break the bathroom and get a higher seat, please get them the commute, something called a commute. A commute is a movable chair where they can sit when they get to the toilet. It's like a chair, they sit. It is very essential, okay? Handrails, install in key areas, handrails. Okay, if you have staircases that don't have handrails, please put handrails. Otherwise, move that senior downstairs. Okay, they might not like it, but you're just helping them. You don't have to wait for the fall. You don't have to wait for the dangers. Prepare these things, okay? Handrails in the bathtub. The bathtub, put handrails, okay? The toilet seats be just by the side. You know where we have the tissues normally. You put a solid handrail. Because what happens is that they get up like this, boom, they're on the floor, they slide. And that's it. The hip is dislocated. Just that fall. Okay, so prepare these things. They might be asking, oh, I'm a 60-year-old man. What nonsense. I'm not going to, if I'm agile. I'm a 70-year-old man. It's not happening. You don't have to wait for it to happen. You want to take care of yourself. You want to take care of your loved ones. Okay, by the bathroom seat, like I said, put a handrail. By the bathtub, please put handrails to get in and out, and also in the bathtub to grip as they shower. We use a lot of buckets and all those things. Get them handrails they can hold and they can shower. Please prepare these spaces for your seniors. As you know, as the seasons change, it's a season they're getting into, and like I said, it's a different world. You have to prepare them for it. Shower chairs are another great ones. Okay, if you decide that, okay, we don't want to do, the dangers of falling in the bathtubs are ridiculous. You begin to ask yourself, why do they have bathtubs? Because they can fall and crack their head. So why don't we get them shower chairs? Get an overhead shower, restructure the bathroom. You can do that if you can afford it. Build the bathroom chairs, like a sitting area that is waterproof. So they sit and have their shower, okay? Or if it's just an empty bathroom, with no tubs or no protective glass or anything, then get them chairs to sit down in the shower, okay? It is safer for them to sit having a shower. Please, please note that, okay? These are things that we can do as we prepare on this journey, as we set them up for this journey, and, you know, and teach them how to use them. Let their nannies or as their caregiver, introduce it to them systematically. Hello, grandma, please, if you want to get in the bathroom, please hold this iron. It will help you. And they will say, God bless you. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, wow, how did you think about this? If it's the toilet, it's grandma, as you sit, if you want to get up, you see this iron, grab it and get up. You introduce it systematically. It is important that as we speak to our seniors, as we take them on this journey, we respect them. Okay, we don't babysit them. We don't show them that, oh, you're getting old, so like, you're coming to the end of your life, so you have to do this because we don't want to know. You have to systematically introduce these things to them with respect. Okay, one of the biggest part that seniors hate is use of the briefs and the diapers, but we know that it is very important. Okay, because it reduces their movement to the bathroom, and it helps with the hygiene of their living areas. How do you introduce that to them? Systematically do it. Sell it in such a way that shows them you care about them, you need them to be safe, you need them to be fine. And I bet you will not regret it. You will have your loved one for a longer time, healthier, save you more costs, and all of that. For the caregivers, so if you are here and you are a caregiver in terms of an employee in this home, and this senior is trusting you to help them for things, for movement, please understand that your role is so important, okay? Don't just say, grandma is old, grandma, come here, this way, that way. You must apply respect. You must communicate to them properly. You say, oh, grandma is not listening. Grandma is not that. You get frustrated. You cannot be frustrated. You must be patient, okay? You must remind them things gradually. Remind them about that bar, about using their walker. You must keep doing it. And like I said, with every level of respect, don't treat them like babies, okay? That's one of the things they detest. You don't treat them like babies. You approach them with, you know, with care and sensitivity. You don't, your job is to assist them, is not to baby them. You assist them do their daily activities, things that they couldn't do or they can't do anymore. it is bad enough that they can see themselves not being able to do it. Don't add to it with your frustration or your tone. No. You must be patient. You must understand what they're going through. Okay, so you are more aware than they are, but you are not going to rub it on them that you're more aware. You are just going to help them. So if they want to get up, for example, a senior is trying to get up and he's doing this, and he's doing this, and he's doing this, and he's trying to get up. It's not to say, Grandma, don't fall. No, you don't do that. You just say, can I help? Would you need a hand? Would you need to hold me to get up? Can I help you? Would you need assistance? Would you like for me to help you? Or you just rush to them and say, Grandma, this is my hand. You can, it will help you better. Don't go and start saying you don't the old, this. No, you have to take it easy because they're going through a lot mentally. Sensitivity is very important. Let's go to the next model so I don't waste time. What is dementia? The early warning signs of dementia in seniors. But before I go on to this next model, please, do you have any questions? Please ask me questions if you have any with the first model we dealt with. No questions?
Okay, so there will be comments or questions.
Yes,
You may want to look at it. So I
Okay.
believe that this is a non-differentiated audience, talking particularly to some who are seniors here and some who are the caregivers.
Okay.
And so I believe that the questions is going to fall in those two areas. But one question I need to ask, you talked about on this fall, the things that can cause fall. You talked about medications, because most times medications, side problems can cause this. What can caregivers do to help seniors in these areas of making sure that the cause of their fall is not as a result of their medication or side problem? Is there anything they can do?
Yes, absolutely. That's a fantastic question. So when a senior is on medication, as a caregiver, you must know the medication your family member is on or your senior is on. So what do I mean by this? If they're dealing with diabetes, for example, so they take, medication for diabetes, or they're on some blood thinners or something. As a caregiver, as a family member, as a house help, as who you are, you must know, first of all, that they are on some medication. And it is important that you read the side effects of the medication. The moment you see likely dizziness, you know that you want to watch and prevent fall. Okay? The moment you see the medication, or when you read about the medication, you see it might cause dizziness. A lot of drugs might cause dizziness, but for your seniors, when you know that this medication might cause dizziness, what does that do for you? It triggers you to say, okay, I don't want mama to fall. I don't want to fall. And so I'm going to, the moment I get the signs of dizziness, I'm going to make sure I let my caregivers know, my house help know, my son or my daughter know that I get dizzy. Okay. And so I'm also going to make sure that my living area is comfortable. My staircase, if it is tiles and there are no bars, I want to install bars immediately, because I want to go down the stairs using the when we define the fall, it's unintentional. When you see or hear a senior fall, it's like a big boom. It's one of the loudest sounds they lose complete control. You never see it coming. It's not one of those falls that you just say, oh, I just hit something. Sometimes they just go boom. So you want to prepare that area, knowing that they're on medication. The moment you see the medication has those side effects, please begin to make your space as comfortable as possible, because you can never tell when you can fall. And if you feel dizzy, take it easy. Don't get up fast. Don't rush. When you wake up in the morning, don't dash off your bed pretty fast. You want to take it easy. and ease into your day gradually. If you are a fast and a restless person, you want to slow down, because the wife, read your husband's medication, what he's taking, understand the side effects, and prepare yourself for it. Okay, watch out for it. Make sure he's comfortable. Watch for signs of change in his mood or in her mood, your wife's mood. Your uncle, your daddy, your grandparent, just watch, and because you know they're on medication. Okay, that's why you prepare, right? That's why we're being enlightened. You don't want to, if a 70-year-old is on medication and they said can cause dizziness, automatically you know that it's likely to befall. So what do? You prepare.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. What is dementia? I know that we know dementia. I know that we know, to an extent, a lot of us know what dementia is, but I'm just going to go through it. Dementia is a cognitive disorder characterized by a decline in cognitive abilities, including memory, thinking, reasoning, the ability to perform daily activities. Dementia is typically progressive, meaning symptoms worsen with time, okay? Dementia, this topic, we shy away from it in Nigeria a lot. We shy away from it generally. We call it different things, old people's sickness. We call it mental problem. We call it all sort of things. But first of all, dementia is a health problem. And it's not necessarily an extremely old people's sickness. It can start from 50, it can start from 60, it can start, it starts pretty early now in this times. It starts early. I'm very passionate about dementia, as I share with us, because when we catch the signs quickly, we can avoid too many things. Dementia is so dangerous because it eats the brain, and it eats it fast. A dementia patient, if taken care of, can cruise and stay consistent with their health. But when a dementia patient is not taken care of, in 6 months, they're gone. That fast, 6 months. You wake up one morning, they've shrunk, gone, because it eats the brain fast. So how do we prevent this? We can't prevent dementia and dementia doesn't have a cure, as we know, but we must identify fast. One of the biggest things I regretted with my dad was that I didn't identify that it was dementia on time. With my mom, it's different because she's pretty old, but she's very cognitive, but I can see the signs. So what used to trigger me no longer triggers me, because in the past with my dad, I would argue. My dad would say, I would say, Daddy, no. Daddy, don't say this. You'll be arguing with someone that has dementia because you'd want him to understand what you're saying, but they can't. Okay? So you argue with your parent, you fight with them, you disagree with them. They are repeating, Mommy, you've asked me this question before. You're asking me 10 times. I'm tired. You can't do that. Mommy, but you just asked me 30 minutes ago. Why are you asking me again? It's coming. Those are signs of dementia. You can't do that. You have to know. You can't be arguing and fighting and disagreeing with them when you know that they're getting to that age, and you can see that sometimes they repeat themselves. Sometimes they talk to themselves. Sometimes they talk off point. Say, Mommy, what are you, oh, Daddy, what are you saying? I thought we were talking about it. You're talking about something else. In a lot of times, those are the signs of dementia. The moment you catch it, you see them talking to themselves a lot, or they're just repeating themselves, or they will ask you the same question. Jide, that meeting we're going for, is it on the 3rd? After 20 minutes, Jide, did you say it's on the 3rd? Yes, that is on the 3rd. Jide, that 3rd, is it a Wednesday? You don't get frustrated. The brain is beginning to react. And so what do? You engage them. How do we get to that? But I want us to understand that This is something that affects the thinking ability, reasoning ability. It affects the cognitiveness. They're not able to be 100% cognitive. They still sound like they are cognitive. They know things. Oh, good to see you, Paul. But some things are missing. The moment you see that, you begin to know and begin to prepare yourself. Dementia is typically progressive. It eats fast. It's like it's a disease that eats the brain really fast. How it progresses and how it's managed to stabilize to an extent is really dependent on us, the caregivers, the family members. It's very important, okay? We're going to learn more about that. The next slide, please. Early warning signs of dementia. Dementia is a progressive condition, and early intervention can significantly improve the quality of life of both the affected individuals and their caregivers. Like I said in my past examples, if it saves you problems of unnecessary arguments and quarrel and lack of understanding. Oh, daddy's pissing me off, mommy's pissing me off. I don't even know. It saves you when you know, if you pick it quickly, it saves you that. And there are some common signs of dementia to watch out for, okay? Memory loss. So forgetfulness is a big one, okay? It disrupts their daily life, such as they forget important dates, events, or repeatedly asking the same questions. These are the things to watch out for. They ask you the same question, okay? They forget things, dates. You know that it's coming. You know it's coming. Not to panic, but the good thing is that you know, okay? So you don't go through that phase of ignorance, of thinking, they forget. You just stress me out. And you think that person does not know that they forget. You're killing them. Gradually, that kills them more than even the disease. The pain of that feeling, how did I forget this thing? So when you know that it's coming, you deal with them more sensitively and a bit more patient, okay? Difficulty with familiar tasks. So they're struggling to complete tasks that were once routine for them, okay? Like preparing meals, okay? Dressing up, managing, their finances. They begin to make mistakes in their numbers, okay? To dress up, you find out that the person will dress up, they will not button their belts properly, or they'll you see some signs there, not properly dressed, just begin to wear mix and match somehow. You say, oh, you forgot your belt. Oh, I forgot. You just begin to, you don't go and tell them, oh, so this is dementia, or no, you don't do that. But as a caregiver, you prepare yourself as a caregiver. You're a caregiver. You know that this thing, is there. And so you help them. Or is it possible you forgot your belt? Or would you like to use a belt? Oh, I brought your belt. Oh, you see that they had a shower, soap in their back. Can I just help you wipe your back? Don't go and start saying this, you don't, this thing where they call dementia, don't they come? No. Just catch them where they drop the ball and run with it. Okay? If it is you that is noticing it as a senior, that you're beginning to forget things, you're beginning to forget dates, you're beginning to, it's important that you get a lot of rest. It's important that you, first of all, eat right. It's important that you rest, eat right, engage your brain more on activities, physical activities, be more engaging, okay? Also, one of the things you see is language problems, difficulty finding the right words, following or joining a conversation, or they repeat themselves. So they join a conversation and they're talking off. I hear my sister-in-law once said to me, did you guys notice that dad is beginning to sound off? And this was like 3 years ago. And that, she was saying it, she's young. She was saying it in such a way that, it's very annoying. But for me, that was a trigger. That was a sign right there for me. And so the 3 years down the line till now, I listen. I love my father-in-law. He's an amazing man, full of energy, power. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, this man, we can't lose you to dementia. So anytime we're talking, he's 62. He's 62, he's still young. But I picked what the daughter said. And so when we're having conversation, I see how he keeps the conversation. He's smart. He keeps going. But then I see how towards the end of the conversation, he loses his line of thoughts. It happens to everybody, but in this case, it will be more often. And then they try to remember what they were saying. And so I smile and I just say, okay, Babo, it's okay. And, I help him remember, or we just continue the conversation. And then I bring a topic that triggers him to talk more, So look out for those signs where they miss their line of thoughts all the time, where they forget things under their language. That you people are talking about football. Before you know, he said, you just go into something and say, the pastor, that's how the pastor now. And it's not to say, what are you talking about, Daddy? I thought we were talking. No, it's just to help them come back to the conversation and just know that, you have to prepare them mentally, not to rub it in, but just you be aware and don't stress them mentally too much argument, too much, always write down what they say so you can help them remember later and say, oh, Dad, you said the 13th. Is it the 13th? Okay. Things like that can help. Okay, let's go. Mood and personality changes. Noticeable shift in mood or personality, including increased irritability. Okay? Withdrawal from social activities. It starts gradually like that. Okay, they begin to get irritated. They don't want to stay away. They don't want to go out. They don't want to join any activity. They don't want to be a part of anything. Those are major signs right there. Another thing is, for some of them, when it gets to the extreme, like towards, like if it's like full-blown dementia, maybe let's say you didn't catch all the signs and then it just boom, it's there. For some people, they can be very aggressive. My dad was very aggressive. He used weapons, knife, wood. He will attack my mom, crack, her head. And sometimes we leave our family member, like your mother, the wife, to take care of the man, or the man to take care of the woman. You're going to burn out. They're going to burn that person out, believe me, because sometimes they wake up at night and they just wonder. Okay. And so that person is living their life and also living the life of that person. We must prepare ourselves. We must. So I met a family yesterday that this man, sorry guys if I'm digressing, but this man, I want to share with us the importance of caregiving, even as family members. In my job, we provide care, we send care to your homes, fine. But I always tell the family, 70% of the job must be done by the family. The other one is for the, to shock us up and help you. But the family must prepare for this journey. You must prepare. So I met a family yesterday. This man, fantastic man, speaks well, but he's like 6'3" or something. He's huge. When he has, his moments, it's hard to handle him because he's very big and tall. But all his sons and daughters, they're big. And they come to visit him, to see him. So because I go to do some analysis, mental analysis and mental, I check for dementia level by engaging these people. And so I just met this family and she said, oh, they are now sharing the duty in their family to take turns, blah, blah, blah. And they've made it a point of duty. And I said to her, fantastic. Families have to get involved. Families have to understand that it starts with them. If you have cousins, cows, girls, whatever, you begin to empower them, train them to understand what's going on in the environment, not to pity for the person or say, oh, the person is dying tomorrow. No, just understand that the season has changed. The journey has changed. And so we must prepare and go on that journey with this individual. And so she was telling me how they're taking turns now. And I said, and I could see the results. 2 weeks ago, I was with this man. He was hallucinating medication again. He was on some medication that we're going to get to that infection. That's one of the things he does to seniors, okay? You hallucinate. So he was hallucinating and dangerous. He was trying to get up and he will fall. And so just to see him come this far and he's talking and having conversation again and he's saying, oh, thank you, he's more aware. I could see how the family played a major role and being particularly part of his day. And so they made it a point of duty, take him for a drive, take him for a walk, let daddy watch soccer, let daddy go for a walk in the park. That's a big deal. That's like Christmas. Okay. So yes, mood changes. So my dad was aggressive. Some people, they become aggressive. They snap, get out of this place. And, you know, for nothing. So it's not for you to say, oh, you're a wicked man. Oh, you're this. No, it's there. It's coming. Dementia is coming. They're losing it. They're not crazy. They're not crazy. It's not a mental health to that of the psychiatry. No, it is, yes, a disease of the brain that eats memory and stuff, but it's not, they're not crazy. Okay. Repeating actions, questions, stories within short span of time. They repeat the same thing. That's dementia right there. That's for, we're in dementia. At that point, we're in dementia. And so you must understand that, answer them as much as possible, answer them as often as possible. They ask you 1,000,000 times, answer them. Okay. If you don't want to answer them, you engage them, get board games, get programs they like to watch, take them out to events that they like. If they have bowel movement issues, prepare them. Okay. They don't like briefs. You introduce them to briefs gradually, because you don't want them to lose the bowel movement or pee on themselves in public, but take them out. If they like to go out. If they don't like to go out, take them a little bit for walks and things like that. Next slides, please. So these are the signs to look out for. Impaired partial awareness, so difficult in navigating spaces. And let me move this quickly. And recognizing familiar surroundings. So they don't recognize the familiar surroundings anymore. They begin to say, oh, where is this place? Is this the mall? Are we? It's not for you to say, please, mommy, don't you know the mall again? Why are you asking that question? No. You have to answer them. Yes, it is the mall. You know, so you are more aware than they are. Or even if you are the person, if you begin to lose memory of the place or places or environments, you just know it's not to panic. You just know that your memory is shaky and you take it easy on yourself, okay? Like I said, there are things that you can do: sleep right, eat right, engage in activities that help the brain. There's a lot of activities that help the brain, board games, card games, you know, engage more to keep you, don't go quiet. It's important to know that these signs may, okay, social isolation, that's the first thing that dementia wants to do to you. It doesn't want you to go out. Isolate yourself from relationship because you know that you can't communicate right, you talk off. So your memory is not sharp, you begin to isolate yourself. Not very good. Yes, you might not want to go to the big socials, but let your family engage you more. Let you engage the person more with family members, family house parties, families, fellowship, families walk, go for a walk. But let them still do the activities as much as possible, okay? And that they're comfortable with, but don't keep them at home every day, indoor all day. No. It can be 30 minutes. It can be one hour outing. That's okay. Drive them to the store. Let them go to Ebano or ShopRite and just buy things like usual. Give them money and go with them. Let the caregiver go with them. Say, oh, let them look at the shelves and say, oh, is this, let them do that. It's good for the brain. It helps with dementia. It's important to note that these signs may vary from person to person, okay? And not everyone will exhibit all of them. No. For some people, it's one. For some people, it's two. For some people, it's none. It just comes in and out, fade in and out. But why we're having this training, like I said, is that we know. And so we don't stress out and say, and like I said, I used to argue my dad a lot. Even my mom. So I used to say, Mommy, no. I thought you said, I used to argue, but when I got deep and understood this, anytime I'm with my mom, is like, I mean, with my mom, we don't stay 30 minutes without fighting or arguing, but now it's like, you know what, Mommy? Just be saying anything you want to say. My mom will say, you are this, you're very this, you're very that. It's okay. And we will laugh. And these are things that used to trigger me before. I say, my mom would repeat the same thing. Sit down. Now, Diana, let me tell you something. Do you know what your uncle did to me during the war in 1975? I repeat the same story she has been telling me as a child. I will just sit down there and say, yes, yes, yes. Before she even lands, I know the end of the story because I've had it a million times. I'll be like, yes. In fact, that thing, very bad, but it's okay. Or I will say, Mommy, I'm coming, and my bear. I will call my daughter. Mommy, be telling, she engage, Mommy, I'm coming. If I have to run out. Or I'll say, Mommy, if I come back, give me this gist very well. Because that's all they want to do. They want to repeat themselves, say the same story a million times. It's not for you to shut them down. It's not for you to get upset. It's for you to engage them as much as possible. That's why every family must be involved, okay? And every family must be aware and prepare themselves. Because like this thing says, it doesn't happen for everybody the same. Some is memory, some is aggressiveness, okay? That aggressive one is really bad, guys. So what do? You take out all the knives from the kitchen, okay? All the dangerous weapons, you move them. If he used to have a gun before, remove that gun. Because he can shoot anybody without knowing what they've done. Okay. Social isolation. So it's important, yes, it's important to know these signs, and it may vary from one person to another, different things, but these are things to look out for. Next slide, please. Communication strategies, caring for seniors with dementia, okay? Please note this, very important. I know that I've mentioned it along the line, but let's take it again one step at a time. Very important. Communication strategies for caring with seniors with dementia. Speak slowly and clearly. When we have ascertained that this is clear dementia, so we know we have a situation to manage for the longest of time. If we don't manage dementia, they deteriorate months. 2 years max. Trust me, it's not the same person. But if we manage them, you will still have your loved one with you and healthy. Not 100%, but so speak slowly and clearly. Speak in a calm manner. Use simple sentences and give the person with dementia time to process what you are saying. So I'm very passionate about seniors care. And for me, it is very individualistic. The reason why the Good Hands is different is that we narrow care to suit the individual. Yes, there are some basic fundamentals that everybody must use to apply, the professionalism of the job and the health part of the job. But every individual is different. Mr. A is different from Mr. B. So who is Mr. A? We analyze Mr. A. What are his life history? He's this, he's that, he's that. What is he like? And we go in with the care, right? Now, speak calmly, clearly, in ways they can understand. People understand differently. People assimilate differently. Dementia, yes, can happen to three different people, but their level of dementia is different and their level of assimilation is different. So you must understand the individual and manage them accordingly. But generally speak clearly, slowly, okay, and in a manner that they can understand. Let them understand what you're saying. I walked into a client and he has refused care, he has refused to change his brief, he has refused to whatever, and he's aggressive. Okay, I don't know, like to say, but I like the aggressive ones because, at least you know what you're dealing with. The ones that I will not say I don't like, I like all of them, but I really like the aggressive ones because that's the extreme. And for me, I like to start from the extreme too. So the aggressive ones, you see what you're dealing with. The ones that you don't see coming, and they snap once, they can take you off. So he was clearly very aggressive, and they said, oh, he has refused to do this, and he's not going to bed. He has not had shower in days. And I know. I'm not God. I'm not Jesus. I'm not a miracle worker. But the first thing I did first, when they were telling me and he was there, I just walked past him like, Mister, you don't want to, you'll be all right. Like that, I gave him that kind of attitude. But it was a strategy. And because I'm looking at this individual, he's ready to attack because he's like, you know what? If you like, go and call police. This small lady cannot do anything to me. But for me, I just said, Okay, I just left him. And they say, oh, are you sure? I said, just leave him. Leave him. That's another thing. Give them their space. I'm not sure if it's in this slide. Give them their space. When they're aggressive, it's okay. Don't fight back. And then the first thing to do, I don't know if we have that in this slide, but it's very important because I think it's important. With a dementia patient that is aggressive, is buy the trust first. Let them trust you. Let them trust you. How do you get that trust? Let them know that you are not the enemy. You're not one of those that have been asking them to do what they don't want to do. Mama, you don't want to wear brief. That's okay. Oh, you don't even have to wear brief. I don't even like brief. I don't like brief. You don't want to wear brief. No problem. No issues. And leave it at that. And continue another conversation like nothing. But moments later, bring up the brief conversation. Okay? Very important. So very strategic in approaching them. Speak clearly and slowly. Okay? And this guy, and the next night I said, would you like to have a snack? Would you like to eat something? Would you want to eat? And he was watching TV and I was asking a question on TV. Oh, what did this man do? They don't make sense anymore at that point, extreme dementia. And so he was just saying, oh, the accommodation. And I say, oh, the accommodation. Did they say it was 20,000 naira? Really? And then he got into this conversation of no direction. Guys, the conversations are usually no direction. You're either talking about how Mr. Joko took me to Ibadan. So what you do is you engage them. Ibadan, what happened? You just want to gain trust. Immediately, I found out that trust was, would you like to change? I can help you, That was it. We changed, had a shower, had this, talk in bed, and from nowhere, this beautiful soul of him came out and said, thank you. So you must be systematic in your approach. If it's a dialect, they understand. If it is Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, TV, use your dialect and talk to them clearly in the manner that they can understand, okay? And give them time, space. Remember, respect. Give them time, gain trust, okay? And take it further to what you want them to do. It's a systematic thing, but always remember the first thing, gain trust, speak clearly and slowly, agree with them all the time. Never disagree with them. Agree with them, and then come back again and sell what you want to sell, okay? Communication in this manner always work for dementia patients. You must be their friend. You must be on their side. Active listening. So pay close attention to what the person is saying, even if it seems repetitive. Thank you. I just said it. If it seems repetitive or doesn't make complete sense. I said, another client of mine was just, oh, the 20,000 was just given to the sales and they just went. And then I called the police. I said, you called the police? Wow. I would call the police. Yes, arrest that guy. He's mad. He's really crazy. Meanwhile, you people don't know what you're talking about. Just follow them. Follow them. Follow them. Listen attentively. Okay, don't correct them. What are you correcting? My father, then I'll be saying, never, daddy, never. You cannot tell me that. I know what I'm saying. Yes, yes, daddy, I know what I'm saying, daddy. You cannot, daddy, never. Oh, God, I would do it, daddy. I'm old enough to make this decision. And really and truly, I'm right. My dad probably wants me to do something crazy. Okay? Or I must do, but why did I argue with him? Why did I engage him at that level? Why didn't I see this thing and just say, okay, daddy, oh, you want me to go to this church? We'll go to this church now. We'll go. Meanwhile, I will not go. But at that point in time, you don't trigger them with the arguments and trying to correct him. So there's so many things I regret and I wish I knew more. And so please, let's look out for these things. Don't argue with them. Don't correct them. Agree with them. But come back and sell your what you want them to do in a calm and clear manner. Use repetition patiently. So seniors with dementia may repeat themselves or ask them the same question repeatedly. Respond with patience and kindness. Patience and kindness. Patience and kindness. If you have that madam or you have that uncle or that grandparent that is doing this thing, patience and kindness. patience, and kindness. Very important, okay? Providing the same answers if needed. Repeat it. Say, yes, daddy, it's tomorrow. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. And sometimes tap them. You know, yes, daddy, you asked me this question and I've answered you. Mommy, yes, it's tomorrow, okay? And just calm them down to sleep if it was bedtime or it's their nap time or they want to eat. Did you say it's tomorrow? When is Chiagozem or when is Tolu coming? Yes, I said, yes, it's tomorrow on Sunday. Put days, put date. The 14th, Sunday. They always remember days of the week more than dates, okay? Okay, I have a hand raised, okay. Mr. Bernard, do you have a question?
Yes, please. Ozema, thank you so very much. I know that we have so much to talk about. I was just wondering if you will give some time to entertain some questions to make it so participatory, because at about 6:30 we should be rounding up.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm almost done. I'm done.
All right.
I would summarize now.
Great.
Next slide, please. I would summarize now. Quickly, we're just going to go through infections. Infection in seniors, recognizing infection symptoms, preventing measures. Next slide, please. This infection as a topic is important for us because what we know as infection in us is different from what, and maybe there are doctors here, so correct me, please. But from my experience, infection in seniors is very sensitive and it triggers a lot of things, okay? There are different infections. So one of the ones I would just tackle today is the urinary tract infections. It is common in seniors and can lead to seniors complications if not treated promptly, okay? Age-related changes in the urinary tract system can increase, susceptibility in UTIs. Next slide, let's just go. I'm going to stay with the UTI, okay? Next slide, please, so we can, like you said, there's no time. Next slide, Ify, okay? Recognizing infection symptoms is crucial for timely diagnosis and treatment, okay? So some of the signs of infection in seniors. So when we say infection, people think that coughing, just coughing, or the UTIs, when people have discomfort in their private area. The seniors is different. It doesn't come like that, okay? For seniors, when you see a senior having extreme fever, chills. So if you're chills and fever, it's not every time malaria. Sometimes they go, there's no malaria. It is infection, okay? When they snap, so all of a sudden they're always angry. Someone that is very peaceful and no signs of dementia, but very angry, you should test for infection immediately. Someone that is, that they withdraw from eating, okay? They stop eating. They just stop eating. Or they reduce their portion drastically. You have to test for UTI immediately, okay? Shortness of breath, chest pain, changes in cognition, okay? You want to test for infection. That is the signs of infection in seniors, okay? It doesn't come, sometimes the skin changes, their face, their color changes. First thing to test is infection. The temperament changes immediately. Test for infection and treat it immediately, okay? There are so many things that can cause infection in seniors. Next slide. So many things that can cause infection in seniors. A lot of times we don't see them, but their hygiene is very poor. Their personal hygiene, because they're not able to do things as they used to be able to do. But they come out very okay. But please always sanitize their hand, always treat their nails, pedicure, clean up, because sometimes their personal care, when they do their pericare, their hands are messed up, but you can't see it. And they think they're fine. Okay, no, they're not fine. Disinfect their hands, always clean their nails, and make sure they eat healthy diet, regular exercise. So we do the physiotherapy, fingers and leg exercise, take them for a walk, let them sleep well. So sometimes seniors go to bed and they're awake at 3 o'clock, awake at 2 o'clock. That's okay. That's okay. Don't force them, but give them time and make sure they go back to bed again. If they want to go back to bed at 7 a.m., please let them go back to bed and sleep. They must sleep well, okay? This will help prevent all of these things. Next slide. Yes, and that's it. Any questions? This is the time we take questions.
All right, thank you so very much, Ozioma. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a very wonderful presentation. And we have come to that point where we need to get some. And Ozioma is ever ready to take them on. So with a raise of hand, I'm sure that we'll be able to coordinate this properly.
Okay, so we can type on the chat box as well.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody has said a comment, okay, on repeating questions, it may or may not necessarily be dementia. Absolutely, you're right. My dad does this at 89, but also asks questions only because he wants to confirm he has not forgotten anything. My mom, on the other hand, is going through it to get the correct assessment. It is best to have a comprehensive, absolutely, get assessments from a medical personnel, very important, okay, which is what we did. I'm not an expert, but we had to do this in respect of the parent, to do this in respect of the parents. Absolutely, you're right. So just like I've said, repeating the same thing, asking the same questions and saying the same thing. Absolutely, it doesn't have to be dementia. No, it doesn't have to be. It can be some sense of, the memory. I mean, our memories are not going to be 100% till when we're old. At 89, definitely he's going to be trying to remember some things. It doesn't mean it's dementia. However, like I said also, dementia, one person doesn't necessarily take on all those traits. For some people, it's just repetitiveness. They can't remember anything. And those are tiny signs. Now, the reason why I mentioned that as well, or in your case, he asks questions, just remember. If you are not at home, or your nanny or your house help is at home, if they are in this training, or you know what you know, what you do is that you prepare your house help to be able to answer Papa 1,000,000 times more. That's the point. If Papa asks that question 1,000,000 times, you answer him 1,000,000 times. In your absence, your caregivers or your nannies can just say, but I just tell you 2 minutes ago. That's what we're trying to avoid here. So you don't also trigger them emotionally, okay? Where they feel that they are now a burden. Next question, sorry. Or next comment.
All right, so yes, I would like to have people raise by show of hands so we can coordinate the order the questions are coming. Do we have somebody who wants to ask a question?
Yes,
okay,
Miracle.
Please. Okay, Miracle, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Ozioma. I really learned so much, so much. I would like to ask, because with this dementia you talked about, is there a role nutrition has to play in caring for those people?
Absolutely.
And if there is, can you help to name them?
Okay. I know that there is a role a nutritionist has to play to help maintain or manage dementia, because apart from being taught in school, I'm a believer of practicality. So when you put in, what you put is what you see, and so you observe. Over time, with the course of our work, we have seen where you change the diet of an individual, and everything that we are is what we take in, what we eat, what we tell ourselves. So yes, nutritionists have a big role to play. I know that if the person is a nutritionist, they know the food that helps dementia patients, okay? I know a lot of vegetables, a lot of, there are certain seeds that are very good that they have to always take in. It helps the brain. It helps the brain. It helps to just keep it a bit healthy. Dementia doesn't have cure. Let's know that. There's no cure for dementia, but there's good maintenance. Nutritionists help. Another thing that helps is, what is this thing? what is I'm trying to remember this thing, but yes, nutrition, the food, what they eat helps their brain. And it will not stop it. It will reduce it. It will slow it down. It will help them. Also, I mean, we've had a client that wanted to take us on and says, "Oh, you guys are expensive, blah, 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 blah." And then I kind of say to him that this is the care, this is the care, this is the care, this is the care. And then he went off and took I'm coming to this nutrition thing. Let me just give the story. And took someone, and I said, it's okay. You've taken this person from some agency. We're just going to train this person because I've engaged this person. She's not trained. She's not even giving you daily reports. She's not doing his vitals every day. Oh, I asked her, I did his vitals on Wednesday. No, you must do vitals morning and night so you can catch heart attack. You can catch so many things, right? And then I noticed that he was eating everything that we eat. Everything. Just give him everything. Bama, butter, everything. And so I didn't want to infringe too much. I just stepped back. And then he came back to me recently to say, oh my God, it's night and day. I changed my nurses. It's like, this girl, yeah, she speaks Yoruba. Daddy loves her. But I brought this other person and my daddy's sugar level has dropped from like stabilized. And he's 92. My daddy's sugar level has stabilized. He's more, a bit more cognitive. He's more eager and active to want to go out. So absolutely, to answer your question, you said because the caregiver that came said, why would daddy be eating Bama? Why would daddy be, why are you putting margarine? Why, do you understand? Switch the whole food. Nutrition is definitely helps. I can't give you specifically because I didn't train in that area, but I've seen it work magic over time. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, so we have Mr. Rex Osagedi, our secretary in the school, who is coordinating all of this. He has his hands up. So, yes, sir, your question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mine is not a question, it's more or less of a comment. Thank you, Mr. Zoma. Thank you for this insightful presentation on most especially dementia. I was just reflecting, growing up in Benin, I've seen several occasions where people are beating up an old woman or an old man who probably wander to the market square or somewhere, and they're beating them up because they've confessed to be witches or wizards, situations like that. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just beginning to think, I just wondered if your training can be taken down to the lower level to those people who might really need it more than the well-to-do communities, because a lot of people are suffering from ignorance in this area. Because I observed that there are two types of ignorance in this situation now. I just gave an example where they are beating people up because they confess to be witches, and these are people who probably just stray out because of their dementia conditions. Then also another category of ignorance, which has to do with those that are affluent. You mentioned how they were taking your dad to church, bringing prayer warriors and all sorts to come and cure a medical situation like that. So my observation is that, or comment is that I just pray that you are blessed enough to take it down to the lower level where it can get to the street and where it can get to those people that truly need to know more about this situation. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I'm just gonna add to that. So it's amazing that you mentioned this, because this is what made me go into the study. Because with my dad, even my mom that is educated to an extent kept saying, oh, he's crawling. Oh, he's now walking on the floor. They're calling his mom's name. Prayer would take him for deliverance. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. Now with the rural areas, this is also what we want to do. We have plans for sure to start sensitizing people, getting state governments involved. It is not I'm not disputing witchcraft, guys, but a huge level of certain things that old people do that they call them witches, it's not. You beat people, you burn them or you say they say they are witches. They said the reason why they did not have. I'm not disputing the spiritual angle of it. I'm a Christian. I respect every religion. Every religion has the right to believe what they may. But we've, as Mr. Rex has said, huge people, a good percentage of people have lost their life or their independence or their pride because the woman doesn't. I be winch, na me kill him. A lot of old people say things that are not. They say, I stole that phone. Oh, you see an old person with dementia saying, you know what? I killed him and I just took it, I just shot him, I want to end it. I want to. So problem. So I noticed that in our community, in the rural areas, a lot of these things we need to
Okay, that's
with the local community around. I will call you.
Yes. All right. So thank you so very much, Mr. Rex. Thank you, Ozioma. And I think that we have spent almost like 90 minutes. And in this 90 minutes, we have gained quite a lot, talking about, you started with fall in old people, the seniors, you went over to dementia, from there to talking about infection in the seniors. Now, a few things that I think that stand out, one of the very important things that is standing out for us that we are going to take home to dissect is the issue of emergency services for a community like this. When you hit that chord, it resonated very well with what those of us in social welfare committee of Victoria Garden City is also thinking about. When that time comes, be sure that we'll be coming back to you to drink from your wealth of knowledge. But at this time, I would like to hand the mic over to Mr. Rex Osagede. Mr. Rex is going to wrap it up and do the vote of thanks. And if there are other things he wants to bring a spin on, he will so very well do so. So, Oga Rex.
Thank you, Chairman. Nothing to add. I'll just go straight to the special thanks. First of all, a special thank you to the Good Hands team for presenting this invaluable training, shining light on the importance of compassionate caregiving, and most importantly, the insight on dementia and other senior cares, special areas for care for seniors. Thank you, the Good Hands. It's commendable that you also offer this training for free to the VGC residents. We thank you for that. And for all the attendees who have find time to attend this program, I'm sure that you have really gained a lot. And I hope that you will not only internalize what we have learned here, but I also believe that you will reach out to the Good Hands for any other professional assistance that you might need. I'd like to acknowledge the unwavering support of the entire school of VGCPORA and our tireless GM and the management team. Your commitment to enhancing the quality of life in our estate is truly inspiring. Thank you, thank you. As the social welfare coordinator, I am really privileged to be working with a very, very committed social welfare committee. I want to express my deepest gratitude to every committee members, most especially all those who work relentlessly to create programs that will benefit VGC. We encourage all residents to keep an eye out for our forthcoming 2023-2024 social welfare events calendar, which is set to be very impactful and beneficial. I also want to quickly use this opportunity to urge all residents in the estate to think about collaborating with the Social Welfare Committee, whether it is through support, voluntary, or even becoming a patron. Please join us. Together we can foster a more connected and compassionate community. Thank you all for your continued support, and thank you all for your time this evening. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you so much. All right. So on that note, I think we have had it. We thank everyone for attending. Thank you so very much. Ozioma, thank you so much. If there's anything you want to tell us extra, maybe you can just drop us a line. Thank you, Miracle.
Thank you all for having us, and we are very happy and look forward to working with this amazing community. Please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions or need any assistance. Our lines are open, our numbers are here, our email addresses here. We will take them and work with you accordingly. Thank you so much, and have a good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.